It's really dope.
Yeah.
As long as you do. It's so weird that you meet all those people and then have no idea.
I know.
Based on agriculture.
Yeah.
So when this is like obviously all of these rooms.
Your room is I love the room.
I know. I was thinking, oh.
No, I like walk like there too.
So you think that
I bought this little like Italy book. They had like all the.
I mean, it's still easy points,
It was like sort of typical tourist. I'd be like in the quad and I'd be like looking at
This is a straight
my.
up. Oh no. This is they were all sitting like
I didn't know this was really. It really depends. I knew this
posting an announcement.
things to do while we're
That, yeah, I don't know what that is. I went, I should like, I was in it for 48 hours, so I could cook up.
Everyone's stressing about rent.
So Max plan is to get a Lambo.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh yeah, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was thinking.
It's like $700 a day.
And then I'm gonna pass around an attendant sheet.
Without it, my sports cars. You would be a pilot in the Navy.
Well, I know, well, we'll keep you hydrated. What's this?
Yeah, we didn't go.
Do you have chickens? Oh, that's wonderful, how fun!
A friend of mine gave me that last year.
Let's go terrorize the
Basically that
locals.
entire
Yeah.
shake, it's shake, right?
Okay, you're welcome.
Shake.
You're welcome.
But they also package
Religious sex?
No.
Oh, it will be.
You know, have you seen this Instagram
Hi
video?
everyone, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Today we have Miss Cumbo here from the libraries with us, and she's gonna be walking you through some of the resources that are available to you that you might utilize when answering some of the case questions that you've been assigned, or if you're working on your marketing plan or your overall case project. Some of these resources might be helpful to you as well. So please feel free to ask her questions as she goes along, because I know for some of you, this might be entirely new. And I will let you know that previous students of mine who have worked with the AU library system and have been exposed to these resources really found it useful, not only for this class, but for some of their other MBA classes too. So I really hope that you find value in this and that you ask as many questions that you think are appropriate that will help you as you move forward in your program. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Thank you, Professor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So my name is Piper Cumbo. You all can call me Piper. I am one of the research and instruction librarians over at RBD. I'm predominantly an undergraduate librarian. So my role is not as the business librarian, and that my background is not in business. We're currently searching for a new business librarian. Our previous one, Dr. Wiley, you might have met her at some point. She's awesome, and she still remains in contact with us, but she's now the dean of her own library. So she left last semester. Filling in for her, it's me. So you can always contact me since I met you in this class. And also Juliet Rumble, she is our interim business librarian, and she was not able to meet with you all today. So I'm the lucky one. So I created this website because I prefer a website to PowerPoint slides. Really, this is just meant to navigate today's class, to offer you just a path, really. But the most important thing that I'm going to be using today is the guide that is in your Canvas course. That would be, this is kind of a screenshot of what it looks like. It's under library resources, that link in Canvas, and it's going to take you to the business research guide. Now that guide was created with this class in mind. So I want us to focus on it, but in this website here, we can click this button and it's going to take us to that guide. It's going to take us outside of Canvas. So this is really our path today. So this is meant to be informal. I want to encourage you to talk to me. If I mess up, if I'm seeing something on the screen and I'm looking for it and you see it, please tell me. I've been having kind of a Monday today, especially with technology. So as we begin, the guide stops us at the NAICS code. Do we all know what a NAICS code is? Are we familiar at all with our NAICS codes? Who wants to tell me what a NAICS code is? gives us a little definition there. So this is our North American Industry Classification System number. And so this is unique to the North American industries. This means that this particular industry, with this code, is going to report to the United States government. If you don't know the NAICS code for, say, the company or the industry, rather, that you're looking into, there are a couple of links here that can take you to determining that information. I will tell you, for my example today, I'm going to go back to my guide here. I cheated a little, and that this is the company that I was going to use as my example, and I wasn't really sure where to even begin to look for the NAICS code. So who among you is familiar with liquid IV? All right, what's liquid IV? What is it?
Electrolyte.
Electrolyte, right? So what are electrolytes? Yeah?
It could be in like supplements, maybe pharmaceutical.
Sure, right, yeah. So it's a known combination, a compound, if you will, that is meant to support your hydration system, right? So you see it a lot in ads marketed toward people that are maybe working out a lot or just daily hydration and the importance of electrolytes in our water, in our drinks. And so liquid IV is this little packet of powder that you can put in your drink. And I was looking at the news recently, you know, Super Bowl's coming up. This was in December. I happen to love liquid IV. I keep them in my office. I share them with my colleagues, with my class. It really helps headaches for me, at least. And I saw this news and I was like, interesting. That must mean that liquid IV is like making its way into the mainstream. It's a brand that I haven't really seen a lot of advertising for in the years that I've been using it. I had noticed that their packaging had changed recently. When I was going to buy it, it no longer said like things like non-GMO or, you know, it just looks slicker somehow. And so I see this and I see that now Liquid IV is going to have an ad in the Super Bowl. So in February, we get to look forward to Liquid IV becoming a Super Bowl, maybe celebrity. Maybe this commercial is going to be one of those things that we talk about the next day. So my first question was, well, what is Liquid IV? But also, is that the brand or is that the company? So what do you think? The name, Liquid IV. The brand or the company? You're looking at a brand, right? And so when I'm thinking about my NAICS code, we mentioned pharmaceutical, so it's kind of in this vein of like wellness, but it's also a drink. And so like what industry could have something like Liquid IV in it? And so the first thing I did, like I did try to go to the government website to look up a possible industry for the company, rather, that would maybe make something like Liquid IV. And you can do some searching here. I will say that government documents will be your friend. Most of them should be freely available to you. If they are not freely available to you on the internet, then you can always contact our government documents librarian to see if it's something that's historical and you need access to it. We likely have it in some kind of format like microfiche or microfilm. But for this particular website, it's asking, let's see, how do I use, this is so unfamiliar to me because technology at the library is not quite as nice. So let's try pharma as a keyword. Now this is updated every 5 years. So we have the 2022 definitions and codes because we haven't gotten to that point of new ones yet. So perhaps I can scroll through and come up with something here, maybe pharmaceutical preparations. I could also Google, right? And so I'm going to open up another tab. And I will say that when we are Googling, the AI is going to come in first with our summary, right? And for the most part, I've been able to trust those summaries. They do provide links, and it will take you to where Gemini, I believe, is the Google AI. It will take you to where they found that information. If you don't want AI built into your Google search, you could say minus AI, and it will remove it from your search. For this one, I'm going to keep Liquid IV, and I'm going to say company. Actually, I could just say NAICS code. Let's try that. And so it's going to give me that AI overview. Now, it is coming from some .com companies that I don't always trust. One reason that you get to meet with librarians in classes like this is because we have taken a great deal of time and money toward curating these collections of information that we're going to show you today. So those databases, they have, passwords behind them because they're costly. It's quality researched information. When it comes to online searching and we are in that free zone, we can't always bet on the quality of the top 5 sources coming through a Google search. I don't ever really sign in to my Google account either, by the way, because Google knows me really well, and that algorithm tends to kind of shove me into what it thinks it wants me to see. Now, it's likely to be relevant and credible, but I don't always trust something like zoominfo.com. And that is where it's saying that it's getting this first one here. So this might be where I have like a Word doc opened up so I could copy and paste these numbers in there. But it looks like we're looking at likely pharmaceutical preparation manufacturing. I would also think this would be more of like a soft drink manufacturing, which is this one here, 312110. So maybe I'll just try that one as just a C, right? So going back to my page, so we're at 312110. So the first place that we want to go today is going to be IBISWorld. Now, how many of you have ever used IBISWorld? Fantastic. So IBISWorld is an industry reports database. And this is some proprietary information. IBISWorld is one of the top databases for this kind of information. It's quite expensive. And so having this in this one place is such a time saver for us. It is a lot of information to go through. It does have a lot of abilities to save this information, to share it, and so on. And it does provide you with some flexibility in searching, which I like. We're going to search for the United States because we have that NAICS code for the US, which is NAICS. And let me go back, and it was 323121110. So here, I want to type that in. Nope, didn't like that. Because my number lock is on, I guess. Well, that's strange.
It's not letting you type it in?
It's not. There it goes. So it's now it wants me just to use the numbers. That's fine. So 312110. Okay. So when we see industry, this means that they are officially reporting to the United States government, right? This is a recognized industry. When we see specialized industry, what do you think that means? Yeah.
It would be like a subset of an industry that's kind of like a self-defined thing versus something that's officially defined by the government.
Right. And also, it's not reported to the government, right? So this is where we will not have the United States government reporting for this industry. It's niche, maybe it's new, and therefore has not really had a code established for it yet. You will find, if you are looking for your company, your industry in IBISWorld, and you find that it's labeled specialized industry, still look at it. It's going to give you some valuable information, but it's not going to be that official United States reporting. So if I want to look at soda production, here's our report. Now, it's a lot to look at. I know Jenna Lynn used to like to point out that she didn't always love to read, and I am someone that does, but it's a lot of text. If you are considering at this point feeding this into ChatGPT, please don't. Because again, this is proprietary information. You do not have access to it to freely share, and ChatGPT is an open source AI. So let's be mindful of that. You can look at maybe, let's say, looking at about this industry to get kind of a sense and glean what's going to be included within it to make sure this is where we want to look. We have additional codes that we can look to. We have companies, related industries, so it's possible that I want to look at more of a bottled water situation. If I had gone into the pharmaceutical side of that NAICS code, then it's possible that I would have found something else about wellness drinks or energy drinks. And so it's, this is always helpful to look to see where else I might go. Over to the chapters tab, to our navigation panel, I want to look at performance. So what do we think about soda these days? Soda producers. Do you think they have to spend a lot of money for advertising at this point?
Yes.
I mean, in today's, health and wellness sphere, maybe, right? So if we look to our revenue, so you can see you can navigate by tabs here, and this is just for our overarching performance. We can see to our revenue, and it should give you at least 15-year, I think, for some of these revenue time span. For some of this data, the most recent that you're going to see is going to be like 2022, 2023. You will not see 2025 yet, at least not in these reports, these specialized reports. You might see it on their webpage, on the company's webpage, or within a news article, which we'll get to. So if I come over here to my left, and I want to look to my products and markets, so we can see our innovation is high here. We can get a breakdown of what kinds of products we might have within this industry, how they are regulated, where they are sold, the markets, and you'll see that you're able to download all of these images. If you're going to create a presentation, you can generate some great graphs for your PowerPoint here. Let's look at companies. So I had looked up the Liquid IV NAICS code, but I had not looked up its company. And the company that owns Liquid IV is not a soda manufacturer. So it's not going to show up here really, unless I look to the other companies possibly. But I could dig down a little bit more to see if I could find something related to maybe another company. Let's see. Other industries, pre-made snacks. It's not flavoring, but the energy drink production in the U.S. portion. I mean, I really went a deep dive, and I'm not going to take you there with me, looking for Liquid IV. I eventually found the company in the cosmetics industry, but that's not necessarily what Liquid IV is, and so it was kind of within the pharmaceuticals and cosmetics. The company itself performs very well in the cosmetics industry, and so it does have a nice piece of some of these pies, but and that's when you might drill down to our companies more and look to the profit margin. in our financial benchmarks, this is where we might be able to see, like, so let's say that maybe our company is not going to be within an IBIS World report, but maybe we want to see what an operating cost might be for an average company. So if I go back, I can see where the market cost might be for marketing right here for our overall energy drink. If I touch this, it's so sensitive, I'm so not used to it. So where is it? There. Should be right here. Sorry. I promise I'm not usually as bad with technology. Do you think there's a better way for me to indicate the percentage without making it?
Have you tried, like, do you need a mouse? Like, are you trying to?
Let's see. Oh, that's the problem. So we're at 2.3% of our budget in the industry, in the overall industry, for marketing, for energy drinks. Does that surprise you? No? It surprised me. I think I expected it to be a little higher, but maybe it's more like because they're so popular, they don't need to invest as much. So if we go down here to our trends, we can see maybe what these producers are starting to try, where the innovation might be. Marketing is vital to establishing this brand recognition. Now, I did see for some of these industries, as soon as you land in that report, it immediately starts to warn you about tariffs and tariff implications for it. With the energy drinks, I didn't see that. With the soft drink production, I think I saw a little bit about maybe like if it's a canned drink, perhaps, but the financial ratios, if we go to maybe our income statement, we can see where the percentages might be for advertising. They have ramped it up a little since 2020. They've come back anyway, but we're still at 1.7. Are there any questions about any of what we've seen so far in IBIS? No? Are you playing around with it? Some of us, yes. Some of us, no. You can get pretty carried away in it pretty easily. And I will say, like, again, you can download these reports over here to the right. This will download to your desktop. The links that I've found in IBIS are not to be trusted. And this is largely due to our subscription and our accounts within it. So if you were to try to save some of these links, you might lose what you had found in that report. So be mindful of that. Are there any questions at all about IBIS World?
Can you scroll down just a little up on the left side? I think there was an external environment. Oh yeah, competitive forces. Yeah, all of that might be really helpful to you all, especially if you have a marketing plan project.
Wait, where is that? Wasn't there a competitive, maybe I'm thinking.
I think it's right above external environment. For some reason,
Yeah.
I have it as a separate competitive forces, one more up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. Okay. So the barriers to entry. the buyer and supplier chain. So this is where I had found additional industries to look to when I was drilling down. So like the vitamin and supplement manufacturing in the US is where I had started with my liquid IV search. Eventually it could land here, but this might be another avenue for you to explore as well, looking at our supply chain. Brand loyalty and price are high. Okay. Is there anything else that?
Those are like some key areas I would recommend.
And for when we're looking at competitors for our market reports, so this particular database has this section very well. The one that we're about to look to just briefly, going back to our library research page here. So we're navigating by these tabs over here. And so when we're looking to our market research and survey data, we're going to look to these two, to Mintel and Statista. But when you're looking for background for company information, it used to be called Mergent Online. And this is one that I believe it got bought last year, and so it has gradually changed to a different name. And so for large companies, this is an excellent place to look. But if you're looking at a smaller company, like for my search, Unilever is the name of the company that owns Liquid IV. And so this is a great place to go when we're looking for financials, when we're looking for, it has some industry reports, but it's not a great place, at least not that I could tell, when we're looking for competitors. That's what Mergent Online did really well. It would allow you to create a custom report. And here I just haven't really been able to find it in all of this that well. Who has a company that they'd like us to search? I could do Unilever, but it doesn't provide as much. Lockheed? Okay. All right. So if you know the stock ticker, you can search that way. But it's going to default to United States, New York Stock Exchange symbol. So here's our overview of our company. And so it's going to provide our shares, our number of employees, like just the basics, and performance and market value. Let's see. We scroll down, we can see our growth, revenue, profitability. So when I was going through some of these reports, let's see, I looked at, so here, well, we could look at supply chain for Lockheed. And when we go to competitors, so this one's going to give us a better one because it's Lockheed Martin. So we can export this data into an Excel file folder. It's because I was looking up a smaller company. Is there one in particular that you wanted to look to, or?
Pick one. New Airbus.
Okay. So they have 28 out of 78 products that overlap. So if we go to products and services, maybe suppliers. The scenario report. And this is where you could identify financials. Now, this is something that I think I mentioned with IBIS, in that the financial reporting in some of these databases might be a little older. They might be at least like 2 years old. You can go to the company's website and find the financials tab link, and it'll give you shareholders information. It should give you the annual reports. So keep that in mind for more recent information. I don't have a target company yet. Is there anything else that you wanted to see for Lockheed?
I don't think so. Can we see the suppliers tab?
Yeah. As you would expect. Yes.
What's in the first column with the arrows? What is that?
So this is the direction defined by others. That, let's see. I think does that indicate profitability, or it's a good question. This is more financials that I do not know. Gives us the key, but as defined by the company, as defined by others. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I don't know. It's all
What
new.
happens when you click on customers? I'm curious what's in that one. It's right above suppliers on the left.
Oh, right. And a control F situation would not work in this case, because there are clearly more pages to search. So that would be only an HTML search. You could, though, export all and search that way. Is there a customer that we're looking for in particular?
No, I just was curious what.
I want to find out what this means. It's almost, yes.
What is this tool exactly showing us?
This is showing the competitors for companies, for large companies. That's really what is the strength of this particular database. Smaller companies, there's not much of an analysis that takes place here for them, because there's not much reporting that would happen. But this is helpful when searching for industry and products, but again, it needs to be a larger profile company. It's not my favorite, but it was considered, like back in the day, this particular company that owned this proprietary availability, I should say, was called Mergent, and it was purchased and revamped, and that's what we have today. So, Market Atlas.
Although not your favorite, it does seem helpful.
It is helpful when you're looking, again, at the larger profile. I had made the mistake of starting my search with a smaller company there.
I did business intelligence with a utility company, and this honestly would have been useful.
Yeah.
We were under marketing services, so.
Yeah, we need to have more of them, more availability in the market for tools like this. I think would be helpful. But, Auburn, having been behind the scenes and subscribing these databases, I can say what we have is not always top, because they're so expensive. It's just a cost issue. But what we have is it will suffice for, it gets the job done. Okay, are we ready to move on to some survey data, some market research and survey data? Are we lost in looking at the others? So Mintel is going to be considered the best bet here for market reports. Now, if you have another company that you would like to search here, I'm happy to do it. You need to accept their terms and conditions. Mintel. Has anybody used Mintel? No, so this is new to you as well. It's got a lot of information found here. It will always have kind of trending topics on that first page. So if you're not sure of where to go, sometimes I've told students to go here just to look around. And the menus are a little different, so we definitely want to look to maybe the United States here. This screen looks a lot different than it does in my website. Okay, so we'll try good old Unilever. And so we have some news here for Unilever acquiring some of the smaller brands and a little information about them. If we want to search by demographics or content types, let's see. Now it looks so different on the screen. I remember Jenna Lynn telling me about this too. That when we use this database, it looks okay. So category, marketing, no?
Is it because, did you intentionally select, if you go up on the top where it says expert analysis?
I guess that was what it defaulted to. So I want consumer data.
Okay.
Right? Because this is what we're hoping to find is the survey data. So if someone has filled out a survey recently about our product or about our industry, then ideally we will have this data within this database. So these are going to be consumer data reports. Let's see if I can search Liquid IV and maybe sports and performance drinks. So you should get a lot of information here. It's possible that you can go in and toggle things off and on just so that you can see, like if you wanted to sort by gender, if you wanted to sort by age group. So it's going to give you our questions here and then the response rate. This looks so different on the screen than it does in all others. Let's see. We can sort by question at the top. To the following, how did you prefer? So let's see this. So how did you find these drinks? So often, and we saw this in IBIS World, they were saying that brand loyalty is important to people. We're seeing that in the survey response. If they found it online, but perhaps this will help influence this marketing strategy. What claims do you look for? So rapid hydration could be one, supporting energy could be another. Maybe we want drinks that don't have a lot of sugar. The non-GMO strategy worked really well for Liquid IV. I remember when it was at least being told to people. I learned about it in the gym, and it was told to me in a way that was like, it's non-GMO. It's not going to be some kind of hybrid plant that you're going to find in this drink. So it worked. It wasn't organic though. So maybe that means something. So here we have maybe the electrolytes category. What is it that you would like to see? Would you like to see more electrolytes? That doesn't really matter as much maybe. And we can always explore these demographics further. So if we want to see the breakdown by our gender, for that question at least, Let's go back.
This is all survey data?
Yes, this is all survey data. And they should tell you, once you download these tables, it's going to tell you where the survey came from. We're seeing that there are 1,500 internet users that answered this survey. Let's see. Let me go back to my report. Is there an industry that you would like me to search here? Instead of my sports drink? Yes?
Assisted living.
Oh, okay. All right. So what category would assisted living fall under?
It would probably be honestly healthcare.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see if we could do keyword search.
We could just do the streaming industry or something.
Well, always expand. Yeah, because health and nutrition, not so much. This is more here. Okay. So maybe entertainment. Is that what you had?
Yeah, that works.
So let's see. Okay. So which of the following video entertainment sources do you use? Let's see what other questions we might have. How would you describe your usage in an average week? Which of the following paid subscription, free ad, so Tubi is the top one here. Some of these I haven't heard of.
On that previous page where it had the dates listed, were those for different surveys?
Which page? This one?
Yeah, see where it has like October 2025 and then there's two streamings, so there's one for February. Are those just two different surveys?
Yes, they should be. Two different reports. So if we go to the report here, we get the granular overview. So this is giving us a different date, but it was published in February 3rd, 2025. So it's going to be 2024 data, ideally. So if we come down here to our market predictions, now we know that this is a little old, perhaps, but this might allow us to see that gradual incline or decline. But they're predicting for us here. So 2024. Doesn't look that promising, does it? Market drivers, so consumer choices settle in. Let's see what that other one is. Yes.
Are these websites accessible through our email or with a VPN or / get into the business or like the virtual lab?
All of the above. That's a great question. So you will be prompted to sign into your Auburn network when you access any of the databases listed on the library homepage, in your Canvas course, if it's an Auburn subscription, it's gonna ask that you authenticate. It helps to VPN when you are off campus, but you're still going to be asked to sign in. I just VPN anyway. It's for me, when I do a Google search, like a Google Scholar search and I VPN, it allows more full text results. Because it allows Google Scholar to see that I'm within the Auburn network, and it gives me kind of access points to all of the databases. So that's a great question. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Do you have any questions about Mintel? Yes.
I mean, obviously, newer reports are better than older reports. It's like market research wise, how long ago is too long ago for changing the market? Is that
That's a professor question. I mean,
Depends on the industry.
right?
Okay.
I like the 10-year scope, but exactly that. Because was wellness really an industry in 2020 like it is today?
I'd say if there's a lot of volatility, you would want a very recent report. Yeah. You're talking washing machines though, probably you're okay. It's a year old.
so a year old is a long time
Well,
for market research?
I think you'd be okay using something that's a little more dated for a washing industry compared, or like if you're looking at a washer versus streaming services, which many streaming service providers recently raised their price, which goes in what you were showing right there. So yeah, I would say think about the volatility of the industry and kind of for this course, keep that in mind sooner versus later for some industries. You're gonna have to, for some of these, cases and projects, you kind of have to work with what you got. So, and I keep that in mind, so.
So within Mintel, I want to mention too, like there's the consumer insights. So that consumer data is also helpful, but there's also a consumer perception chart within there. Anyway, so you can always look at the methodology that's used in these surveys. You can look, it's pretty transparent, their reporting. So I encourage you to dig in to that. So Statista is going to be the next place that we look, and personally, like my background's not business, obviously, but my background is English, humanities, and so English, history, even social sciences, and I love Statista. It just has so much, and this is one of those databases that comes up in a Google search. It's like number 3 if you search for, data on the labor market in the United States 2025. It's still, Statista is going to pop up and say, we'll sell you a report for $35 if you'd like to buy it. How many of you have ever used Statista here at Auburn? Excellent. So again, you want to make sure you're going in through the Auburn network because it is freely available. I use kind of quotes around that, but it will pop up with a paywall pretty quickly. You want to look for this sign here that you're using it through Auburn University's account. You have a basic search, like Google. You've got a basic search here. You also, sometimes they'll put on the first page like trending topics. But we want to look to maybe industries. We can look to specific brands. We can look to specific industries. So let's see. Oh, averages, that was one. What's another one that we can look up? Industry overview in Statista. Oh, company info. Let's see. Let's look at market insights. Yes. So we can look to your report for our advertising. We could also search for a company. Let's see if Lockheed has anything in Statista since we've looked. Okay, so we have something from 2025 for Lockheed Martin. So we've got key insights. So you should have KPIs within these reports. Financials. There's our competitors' reports. Let's see, where do we want to go? Let's look at the full report. So Statista likes to give us this just to show off, to let us know that you can download this full report if you'd like. And it's not going to charge you $500 because you're Auburn. I don't know that I want to go to that length of downloading the entire thing, but it will be like a PowerPoint. Or you could download it as a PDF. Just go here. Financials. Is there a particular area you want to see within Lockheed?
Business area?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at mental.
Oh, you're.
Sit here like this. Not anything in particular.
Okay. Let's see. Let's look at market. Let's look at our KPIs for Lockheed Martin. Well, it tricked me. It said that's what I was looking at. But that's not what I was looking at. Okay, never mind. Robotics, market insight, sure. Let's see that. So for our market, our revenue market for robotics, you can see that we are powering through. Wonder what happened here for 2024. Interesting.
Notes for any of these things, like if you were to come across something like that where they'd have a note.
Well, typically you would have a little asterisk here. It does provide some of our methodology down here. It's updated twice per year. That's the only place that I've ever found a blip is in the methodology. Look at that. Interesting. Let's see our global comparison for robotics. So United States, we are still top 5 countries, still at the top. But it doesn't have anything about that blip. Let's see, reports. Maybe this will provide more insight in the actual report about 2024. I won't eat up time with it, but also in Statista, they do have a built-in Gen AI option if you want to get granular with a research question that you might have. Search within Statista, it will help you kind of finesse those questions a little bit more. I find it helpful occasionally, but it's really if I start here. So, are there any questions about Statista? All right. Here. So again, this is under that market research and survey data. and again, so Statista is similar to Mintel in that it will give you the methodology. It's going to tell you the source of the survey. So if it's not a Statista operated survey, it's going to tell you what company maybe produced the survey, where it was given, and so on. Okay, so we need news, right? So we have some options here. Do you all have your own Wall Street Journal accounts? Yes.
For the Mintel and Statista, is there anything that Statista does better than Mintel, or should we always start with Mintel?
That's a good question. I almost want to ask your professor about that, because I'm not the one reading these reports and grading them. I would say that I would think Mintel would do the market reports better than Statista, because it's not really what Statista is known for. But because they do have that option, and it does provide some KPI for industry, and it does provide market reports, Statista is also, I would just look to both of them. Just cover your bases is my answer. What do you think, Professor?
Same.
Yeah. If you want the market reports, then Mintel is top for that, but Statista does provide some of that for industry. Now for news articles, I mentioned Wall Street Journal. You all have access to your own Wall Street Journal account. So that information is included in this guide here. ProQuest One Business is, Jenna Lynn would always say that it was her preferred choice for business news, and I have to agree. It is my first for business news searching. Nexus Uni is going to be my second. And that's because Nexus Uni provides industry information, company profiles, also legislation. So, it's just a really overarching good database for all the things. We're going to look at ProQuest, though, because it is particular to business collections, business news collections. And it has that familiar search here. It's got a lot of pop-ups that aren't fun. So what would we like to look to for our ProQuest search? Company reports, company overviews? Still? Yeah? Okay. So I've already done my Unilever. I want to ask, does anyone have a company that they would like?
What about Netflix?
Oh boy. Okay. So we could go directly to the company overview here. Prove that we are human. So it's going to default to the overview of the company, the structure, we got some NASDAQ, we have the NAICS codes, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to default to some scholarly journal articles. Now, we don't necessarily have to have those for this class, right? But one of my issues with ProQuest Business is that it says that these are scholarly journal articles, but European Business Magazine is not a scholarly journal. And so that's not always what that's giving you. Just keep that in mind. If you are searching for the scholarship on your topic, maybe don't listen to what they're saying is scholarship here. Yeah. But if I scroll down here, our magazines and trade journal articles, this is where we might see some news articles coming through. It should be pretty current, but let's see. Yeah, so January 23, 2026. This deal is getting heated, isn't it? It's so fun. Okay, so Netflix has secured Warner Brothers Discovery board backing for revised all-cash takeover bid. So that's today, right? So ProQuest News is one of those that has a built-in Gen AI, so it will help you kind of summarize your article for it. You have to ask it some questions over here. Keep in mind, hallucinations are real. One of the things that I've seen a hallucination happen in this particular database is that it thinks that the article is saying something that it's not always saying. So it does hallucinate some of the source information. I'm not, like it's in beta, so I'm not sure if they've worked that out yet. But our keywords are highlighted, and so we can kind of get a sense of what this particular article is about. You want to copy this URL here on the right side and make sure that is the one that you're saving and keeping track of. Because again, this one up here at the top is not stable. It's not going to stay like that. Okay. You can always download. You can always click this cite button as well. What citation style do we use in this class?
APA.
Yeah, I was seeing if they knew, but. So we can select our APA citation, and it can also export them to whatever citation management tool you prefer. Okay, are there any questions about, that seems simple enough, because I used only one keyword. Now if we wanted to really get a little bit more specific here, we could add additional terms. We can add some more filters and terms to our search to maybe minimize them. This is a feature that I really like in the ProQuest databases, and that it allows the timeline to come through, and so you can really narrow your years here. Or your publications. Okay. Are there any questions about our business search, business news search? Okay. So that's our articles tab here. Now, I think under the customer demographics, I kind of just skipped over it because it doesn't say anything in this particular guide, but I do have it highlighted on that website that I shared with you. Simply Analytics is an excellent data visualization tool, and it provides you with maps and reports, and it's going to ask you to sign into your account. So we are only allowed 5 seats in this particular database because it is so cost prohibitive. Like it's crazy. And it's not a database that is as popular as some others. Maybe we can change the 5 seats, but you can try saving or signing in as a guest. When I tried this earlier today, it was at its capacity, and I'm almost afraid to tempt fate, but so we can search in Alabama. We want to lay claim to our site, and we can select our filters that we'd like to add to this report. So if we wanted to search our total population, if we wanted to see, maybe we were interested in a particular product or a particular brand and the use of that brand for this area. So we can say, like, I like educational attainment, median household income. I think maybe that's it. And so let's create those variables in this project. So where are we? So here's our Alabama. And let's see, we want to search our businesses. Now I have an account and I had saved all of the things. We could do a comparison table, maybe. Let's try that. And here's my market segments, maybe. So let's try consumer behavior. This looks so different now. I'm not signed in. Let me. I don't see the same filters that I see when I sign into my account, and that's my mistake. Anyway, it will, when it works correctly and when I'm in my own account and know what I'm doing a little better, allow you to filter by brands and, let's see, no. Let me try this again. New project. Okay, I've already messed up. Added too many filters to my search. And it's not gonna let me do anything else. Anyway, it provides a report, basically, and that you can search by, like, I know in last class, Jenna Lynn did a search on beer drinkers in the county, right? And then by brand. And so it would allow you to, like, break down that data that they have for consumer reports on how many beer drinkers we have in Lee County that prefer, like, Coors Light. So it will give you this really granular insight into consumer data, but it's 5 seats on this campus, and I know that at least the filter that I want is going to be the MRI Simmons data filter. And if you create an account, you create your own account, you're able to set those filters a little bit easier than you are in Guest. So I'm sorry that I fumbled on that pretty terribly. Maybe scared you away from Simply Analytics. There is a class on campus that uses this database exclusively. And so I think they meet on Wednesday mornings, maybe. I'm not sure. But I know that there are occasions when I can't even get in it. I don't know if you've heard any problems from previous classes about it. Have you used it that much in this class?
Some students do use it, and when I used to teach marketing research at the undergraduate level, students would use it, but I don't think we've ever had an issue.
Okay.
Access.
Well, maybe it's something that I need to take back and ask about more. But are there any questions about anything else? Sorry.
Do you want to mention access to Adobe Express?
Oh, gosh. Yes. So I created this website by using my Adobe Express account. And so right below here, I've put some things for you. These are steps that I've used in class for students that want to, instead of creating a PowerPoint or, maybe you have a group project, you create an Adobe page and share it to your class in Canvas. But we all have access to Adobe on this campus. You can log into Adobe Express here, so it is a cloud product, but you have access to it with your Auburn username and password, and you can get started fairly easily. You don't have to have coding background or anything like that. That provides you with templates and suggestions, and connects relatively easily to your desktop if you want to upload videos and things like that. You have all of these applications available as well within the Adobe Suite. We have a team of people at the library, at the Adobe Help Desk, that can help you with any questions that you might have. You don't have to come into the library to talk to them. You can sign in to them. And there's a video that I posted here on how to create and share your web page. And then I put a little blurb here about citing AI images, because Adobe does have a generative AI feature. You can generate images to use in your presentations, it's just that you should cite them. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much for coming. I'll share your email address with them too, so as they move forward, if they have additional questions, they can reach out to you. Or, who was the other person you mentioned?
Juliet Rumble.
Juliet, okay, so I'll share
She
that.
is, yes, she's meeting with a number of graduate students currently. Yes, and she would have been here today. She doesn't know Simply Analytics at all, and I asked her yesterday, can you tell me why we only have 5 seats and it won't let me into my own account? And she's like, I cannot help you with Simply Analytics, so.
Can you issue that?
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Oh,
Should I sign out of this?
sure.
Okay.
So we will conclude for today, and we